evening.
There we go.
Hello? Hello?
I never have these many difficulties ever just streaming. So now nobody can hear. Okay. Hello? Do you hear? I kind of just want to leave this video and come back. If I'm going to be doing all the soundtrack in the beginning, it's just not how. That's what I figured. Hello. Can you hear now? I'm not speaking. So, do you hear me now? Anyway, let me just get back to what I was saying. If you hear, you hear it. If you don't, then watch my lips move. To be honest with you, thank you. Okay, so now, as I was saying, good morning. My lighting's all fucked up now too. It's not looking right. As I was saying, good morning where I'm at. I know it's probably around 10 something where you guys are, if you're in New York or if you're in Atlanta or if you're somewhere like that. What's up? Thank you. I appreciate you with the sound check, the mic check. 1 2 1 2. Do you like my nails? Anyhow, normally I would be going to a club around this time. There's a really popping club down here in VI, which is where I'm staying. It was goody. ATL, shouty. Um, there's a really popping club that I go to. It's usually pop off around this time. This is the time that it's getting real hot. And I usually stay there until about I usually stay there until about I don't know 6 in the morning and shit. Then I go to a restaurant, eat something, come back home. But this weekend is different because I am moving into my new flat, and I just figured it was better for me to just relax and make sure my furniture ends up in my place properly and everything is set up properly. And I'll go out next weekend. Though I did go out last night, I went to a place called Roma, and it was popping. I went with a gentleman that I met while I was out having breakfast. And, even though I wasn't that interested in him, it was a good time. His friends were really cool. He was cool. One thing I will say about Nigerian men is what I like is that they love to dance and have fun. And for me, that's like everything. Just being able to let loose and have a good time is so important in life. And so work hard, play hard is the culture here in Lagos. And I will say I have been to some of the best spots. It's been about 3 weeks since I've been on YouTube, and I have not missed it one bit. One thing I will say is like in the States, COVID has pretty much put us in a position where we are uh, in our houses a lot. And if we're not in our houses, it's like limited outings, and we go out but maybe for a little bit. But out here in Africa, or at least in Nigeria, I can't speak about the whole of Africa, but I will say that in Nigeria, people interact with people. People go out. Like Lagos feels like Black Miami or something, or like Black New York, Black Manhattan, or something like that. Like financial district, the whole thing, or at least where I am. I'm on the island, so I'm on the island. um, um, it feels like there's something going on at all times. It feels like there is so much culture, but there's so much just going on. It's just too poppin' to really express in words. Hold on, sorry. It's just too poppin' to really express in words. I just really wish that people would venture out of their comfort zones and make their way over to um, Lagos and chill out. For those of you that haven't gotten here yet, how do you like this top? This top is popping, right? Like this designer that I order from, and she's very good at what she does. An African designer based out of Joburg, Johannesburg, and she is really, really, really good at what she does. And like this top has a pair of shorts that go with it, and I just love the way I'm not wearing the shorts now, but I just love the way it looks on me. I just really do. Like the shorts are kind of like mid thigh length, and they're really well put together. And it was like a bonus outfit she threw in because I bought a few pieces from her. And God, I love it so much. She just knows how to just make an African print sexy, because a lot of African print clothes can be very homely, and she knows how to make a sexy ass African print. Like I should be looking in the camera more. I'm always looking at myself. Like what a self-absorbed bitch. Anyway, what's good? What have y'all been up to, and how has shit been? I've been watching, a lot of news, Nigerian news, but I've also been keeping up with my New York news, of course. And I will tell you what, ain't shit popping over there. New York is going through so much nonsense. The only thing I could say is congratulations to Mr. Eric Adams. He deserves that spot. Although they always say like when a nigga get the job, that means that we're in for a long haul. So don't expect the city to get better. Expect it to get worse. Um, just like with Keisha Lance Bottoms or whatever the fuck her name is. Honestly, when they give this level of power to Black people as mayors and stuff like that, most of the time we know the city is in for a real deep dive into darkness. So to be honest with you, I do not regret leaving when I did. I'm going to be back. I just don't know when it is. I'm gonna touch back, come see my grandmother, and do all the things that I need to do so I can come right back here and live my life to the fullest. Facts. Uchi said crumbs. Yeah, this place is, when I say this place, sorry, New York is a crazy ass place. Like, okay, what are the reasons why I left New York? I will explain to you some of the top reasons why I left New York right now. So number one, safety. Okay, New York has always been a dangerous city, but the more you do in your life and the more that you become someone in your life, it becomes more dangerous because there are people that target you, there are people that watch you, and there are people that want to have what you have, even if it's minuscule. They want it because they can't attain it themselves, and so it's a very dog eat dog kind of world, and it's a I mean, it's the mob in New York. It really is. As you're younger, you don't really, the fear doesn't set in. But as you're getting older and you're walking around with your Louis bag and you're doing what you have to do and you're going to work or you're going to go do some, grocery shopping and you look nice and it's just, there's so many. Also, when I say safety, it's not just the overall crime. It's also like, it's also, it's not just the crime, it's the people that are now on the streets, right? There's been so many, and I mean, I have so many videos. I need to put some like a little montage together of all of like the dope fiend leans. I've taken so many videos of dope fiends falling over and like people just doing weird things in the middle of the street. And to be real with you, I don't miss that shit. It is trash. Like, yeah, there are poor people out here, but you're not. I mean, I haven't noticed many people getting high on the streets. Maybe it's because I don't live in those areas, but the area where I live, I see people that are just going about their day, selling their fruits, their vegetables. Some people are sleeping on the street, yes, but you know, people's general spirit here is that they are continuing to fight for something. There's a lot of defeatism in New York amongst the lower class of people. And I understand it because it's very hard, even for myself. I'm not even a high class person. I'm a middle class, lower middle class person. And when I say lower, meaning I started at the very bottom and now I can say that I've worked my way into middle class, but really I never feel that way. I always feel like I'm with all my niggas. And at the end of the day, I understand what the fight is. I understand what the struggle is, but who cares? I don't want to struggle anymore. I don't want to be in a city where there's men dragging women out of elevators and there's men running into people's apartment buildings right behind them at night. And literally, there are people screaming all the time at night. Like, I live by a nice park. I mean, it gets real ratchet at a certain hour. If people aren't escorted by the police, there's yelling, there's screaming, there's all these things that, like, I don't mind a little bit of noise in the city. I don't mind the traffic. I don't mind that. I don't mind the birds, the bees. I don't even mind an occasional, high person having an episode on the block, but I do mind, like for example, I'm trying to park in a parking spot. Now I have this guy screaming at me. Now I have his niece who's around my age and she's looking at me. I'm looking at her and I'm like, damn, she's such a pretty girl. And I know she's thinking the same thing about me because we're smiling at each other while we're cursing each other out. I'm like, you ghetto bitch. You never be me. And she's like, I don't want to be you, bitch. Yes, I am ghetto. And at the whole time while it's happening, I'm just feeling so much good energy because I'm thinking to myself, like, I would not be arguing with this girl if it weren't for her fucking dusty uncle trying to take my parking spot on my own block. Like, shit like that don't happen here in Nigeria. People have parking spots. Like, certain things will make New York better. For example, adequate parking will change a lot of the daily struggles that people have. It's a fact. I know you laughing, but it's true. Adequate parking will change every fucking thing from the morning to the night. You know what I'm saying? That will make people more chill, at least. Okay. Another thing is the double box, also known as the double box, also known as the subway. If they could get that in order to like how it was when Bloomberg was in office, when everything was clicking. Like, I can't lie. When Bloomberg was in office as a mayor, everything was fucking clicking. Clicking, clicking, clicking. Shit was, the whole city was on tilt. Literally, energy was high. Money was being made. The city was in a rebuilding phase. Young professionals of all colors, all walks of life, and we still have that, but it's people have gone into their relative neighborhoods and segregated themselves because we no longer work in Manhattan, so we don't come together the way we used to. Um, I've noticed that in New York because we don't work in Manhattan, like most of us work from home now. The only time we come together is if we want to go to like some bars and some hotels and just chill. But to be honest with you, even there, I was at the Gansevoort right before I left, which is one of my favorite places to go, Gansevoort rooftop. And it just, the energy in there was different from what I'm used to. I saw a lot of families and people like that come in towards the end of the night. And usually you see a lot of like models and bad bitches and just different types of people coming in late. I was there from early because I prefer to do rooftops when there's sunlight. I'm black, I like sunlight. I prefer to do a rooftop when it's sunlight. And so I felt like when I was up there last time, it actually wasn't really, it was a great time. My girlfriend took me out for my birthday, but it wasn't as popping as it was supposed to be. Um, so when I say New York has to rebuild itself, it's going to be a little minute. It's going to be a little hot minute before New York can get back to where it used to be. Yes, that vitamin D, you know it. That vitamin D. It's going to be a little hot minute before New York can get back to where it has to be. I mean, it is the kind of place where it falls hard and it's going to take a while to rebuild. I mean, we were just in a rebuilding phase only 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. Honestly, from I would say 2000, we were rebuilding from 9/11, yes, but we were seeing the fruits of our labor around 2010 after we came out of the credit crisis. Thank you so much for saying that. I am happy, sir. I am happy. That is a fact. Because I'm happy. No, I am. Yeah, I be going through shit. One thing about me is like I do be going through a lot of shit because I put myself to the test a lot. I think if you're a person who doesn't put yourself to the test, life is easier for you because you just go with the status quo, right? If they tell you you're gonna work in this job, you just stay in this job. If they tell you you're gonna do this thing, look this way, dress this way, you do that. I'm not that person. I won't say I'm rebellious because I don't believe in any of these power structures that seek to define me and seek to confine me and put me in my place. But I will say that, yeah, happiness is because I choose to move how the fuck I want to move, right? Like I choose to do what the fuck I want to do. I'm sure there are people in this club that probably expect to see me tonight because they've seen me for the last, since I got here, 3 weeks. Every weekend they see me. So I know they probably expect that they will see me again today. She'll let them miss me because I don't do anything on nobody's schedule but my own. And also, I drink a lot of water. And so I feel like to be dehydrated and getting drunk, like I have wine right here, I'm okay. I don't, even when I go to the club, I don't drink hard liquor, guys. Like last night, I think this was probably the hardest liquor I've had in a long time. I had a couple sips of some Glenfiddich. One thing about Lagos men, especially if they got a little guapo, they like Glenfiddich, man. That old, it's like a old, I call it the Jewish boys liquor. Because in New York, it is the straight Jewish boys who drink that shit Glenfiddich. I don't even know if I spelled that shit right. But it is literally the Jewish, it's like Jewish boys liquor, I call it. Because I'm from New York, so that's what they drink. I mean, in New York, niggas drink Hennessy. Out here, Hennessy gets drank, but when men have good money, they're drinking other things. People aren't stuck on Hennessy the way they're stuck on Hennessy in New York. I don't know. New York and Hennessy is like this. I mean, they came up together. I swear they came up together. Um, but for me, I drink wine. I I had a little sip of Glenfiddich. I had maybe like this much. like a shot, but in like the neat glass. And but to be honest with you, I drank wine, champagne, and water, and 100% apple juice. Those are the only things I drink. Everything else can just go. Every now and then, I will catch myself maybe once a month having an orange soda. It's like a treat, but I'm not a soda person. Don't really deal with all that, too much sugars. But I will say, people do drink out here. You can catch a good one. I was toasted last weekend, and only off wine, but that's because I ended up going to like 4 spots, and so wine will catch up with you too. Don't think that it's not going to get you fucked up. It will. Like if you're at dinner and you have two or three, let's stack it. Right. I was last weekend. I was at dinner. Where was I at? What dinner did I have before we went out? Was it RSVP? I was at dinner, had a couple glasses of wine, and one of my homegirls, she loves to buy a bottle, which really is starting to irritate me. Next time we go out, I'm just gonna let her know, like, listen, we get one bottle at each table. We can't sit down at each table and have 2 bottles of wine. I don't need a whole bottle for myself. So I feel like we sometimes just have way too much because she's in a habit of buying bottles of wine, mostly because she could afford it. She has a whole man who takes care of her, and she, I mean, he's a Wells Fargo banker, white man from Cali. I think he just retired, and literally he takes care of her, and she pretty much just moves how she wants. I respect it, but if we're gonna drink 2 bottles of wine at the table, then we're gonna get to a place like Life is Beautiful and try to drink a bottle of champagne. Like we had wine, then a bottle of champagne. Then we went to Velvet, tried to have some more. No, at Velvet, we actually had a proper cocktail. I think I had like a mojito or something. I don't know what I thought I was doing last weekend. And then when we finally got to Kilos, which is where I do say is like the most popping spot to me. When we got to Kilos, we were already pretty fucked up. So to me, I felt like, damn, like I want to enjoy this more, but I'm more toasty than I wanted to be because we started off the night with too much wine. When I'm having dinner, I don't need to get sloshed. I like to have 1 glass of wine with my food. And maybe if there's like a long wait, I might have a glass of wine before that. I don't like to have 2 and 3. I don't like to have 3 and 4 glasses of wine at dinner because I know I'm going to hit other spots. So because of that, it's like 2 glasses here. Then get to the next spot, have another glass. Then get to the next spot, maybe have a bottle. Then get to the last spot and jump in somebody's VIP and have some champagne. That's how I like to do it. I don't like to get too fucked up. Last week, girl had to really hold me up on the way out. But I looked nice though. Damn. That's the crazy part. Like I actually looked so fly last week and I ended up being and also to her point, even when she was taking me out, she said I did really well. I looked good walking out. I was fine. It was just a matter of she said I was playing with some woman's hair. I was like all in her hair, like caressing her hair. What is going on? Do you understand? I'm taking a break this weekend. Fuck all that. There will be no turning up this weekend. I will turn up soon. December is going to be here and everybody's going to be here. So from what I heard, December in Lagos in Nigeria is. Do you guys like this too? It's like I tied this down and tied my wig down, but actually I liked the flavor that it gave me, so I just left it. So I kind of always like that little like not. Um, Shout out to Karima. She kind of did that for me a couple years ago, and I ever since then I loved it. She like knotted up my my scarf, and I just loved that flavor. So, um, but what I will say is. In Lagos, people it's okay to be missed. December is going to be a time where people are going to be out every single day, from what I've heard. December, from what I've heard, is like going back home in the Caribbean. There's Boxing Day, just like how it is over there. And at the end of the day, December is a time when people are supposedly coming into the island, into the mainland, and they're just flooding Nigeria. So I expect this shit to be all the way turned up. And since it's already November 12th, I think I can sit tight until December. I think that's the goal. I think the goal is to sit tight, get some things in order until December, and then start hitting it up towards mid December, around the 15th or so. Like let's look at our calendar. I know I can do it on here. Yeah, around the 15th. That's a Wednesday. I think that's when I'll start coming back out. Until then, I am a homebody. Especially like it was different over the last couple of weeks. I didn't really have a proper place to stay, but I was staying in Airbnbs and stuff like that. And this is an Airbnb. It's my last night in this Airbnb. It's actually really beautiful. Um, it's right in VI. It is a friend of mine's place that they made into an Airbnb. Actually, they run several Airbnbs. This is a really lucrative business here on the island. Probably one that I'm going into. I did have an Airbnb in Brooklyn. It was unsuccessful. Like I ran it for a while, and then I guess I had a camera right in the entrance of the doorway, and someone reported it. Ever since then, it's like I couldn't. I don't know. It's felt like a plan, like someone obstructed my business or something. But out here, it's not like that. You put the camera in the front. They tell you to turn it down when you come in. It's like you flip it over and it's fine. No, I don't know what happened in New York, but I completely lost my privilege for the Airbnb. Out here, it's much easier to run an Airbnb business. It's just something that a lot of people. It's there's like some heavy hitters in the business. If you can look on Airbnb app, you can see there are several super hosts, but there aren't a million places that are like amazing, amazing. This particular Airbnb and this particular person who I stay in their Airbnb, they have very beautiful layouts. They know what to do, and they have completely inspired me to start that as a business. It is a low hanging fruit. It's something you can take one of your paychecks, get a flat for the equivalent of like even my flat is like the equivalent of like 4,000 for the year. The flat that I got, it's smaller, but if you get a bigger flat, the equivalent of like 8 or 9,000, even 10,000 a year, and then you deck that shit out and you put some, good accents and beautiful furniture and stuff like that, you're guaranteed. When I say you're guaranteed to make good money. This place makes absolutely amazing money. I could actually walk you guys through this Airbnb so you can see. Let me disconnect the mic, but let me walk you through so you make sure that you got the okay. Hello. Hello. Okay, let's hope that you guys can hear. But I'm gonna walk you guys through this Airbnb so you can get an idea. So this is a painting I was sitting in front of. Now, look behind me. Can't you see how gorgeous? How nice it is, how well set up it is. Even the kitchen area, right? It's like this person really knows how to make use of the interior decorators. Um, see, some accents in it. Just really a nice, like every corner has a really nice detail to it. Oh my God, it has the best view of VI. I mean, it's late and you're not going to see it, but if I kind of come to the window, you can get an idea of just how nice everything is. If you turn off these lights, you can see. I'll actually post the views a little bit later, maybe tomorrow. If I turn off these lights, you might be able to get a better view of what it looks like outside. So I'm literally, you probably can't see it. I'll put some views tomorrow together. Actually, I'm checking out of here tomorrow. I've been here for a while already. Let me go ahead and walk you guys. See how gorgeous. In the most unsuspecting location too. That's the table where I was sitting. Okay, everything's so good. Artwork. This person really knows how to put everything together. Really knows how to do everything. Here's the guest bathroom. Guest bathroom is nice. Everything. Walk upstairs. The stairway is actually really cool. I'm gonna hold the laptop like this. Stairway is kind of cool as well. This person knows how to make a good use of blue light. This is one bedroom. There's 3 bedrooms here. You know? Bathroom. I think tomorrow I will make use, or earlier today, I'll make use of this laundry if I can. Just a good, this person, I love blue light, so you know how much I do. I'm in my room. My room is really set up nice. It's got the closets, the bed, a vanity table where I keep all my makeup and shit, you know. It's got a balcony too, but no point in going out there right now. Like the Airbnb, it's really inspired me because that's a way for just to multiply. Airbnb is one of the best multipliers in terms of a business, anywhere, especially in a place like Lagos where people don't intend on being here. You know, when people from the diaspora come here on the island, they don't intend on being here forever. They intend on coming here, handling some business, and going right the fuck back to whatever they were doing and making that money. So when I say this is a good business, it really is. Hold on. Yeah. When I say this is a good business, it really is a good business. Because you can really multiply some basic income if you can set up right. And honestly, you know, people use interior decorators, but if you have style, you can pretty much do your own decorating. Like for my first Airbnb, I was going to contract a friend, but I think I'm going to do my own decorating and just showcase my own style because there's just so much elements here, so many things that you can buy, so many really good furniture spots where you can spruce up your space and like just please, like there's just too many ways to set this thing up. So even my spot, I'm setting it up for the purpose of an Airbnb. So for example, my flat, I'm gonna set it up super nice so that when I get to the next flat now, if I want to move into that, I can leverage this flat, or even when I'm not around, I can leverage this flat as a space that can be used for rental, and I'll make some good money off of it. So now people are charging anywhere from 40 to 85, depending on what they're offering. And one thing that you always need is you always need an inverter that goes along with the generator and with the overall power, because power is not always consistent, but generators work very well here. Now, if the generator trips, you want the inverter to come on. And that's something that is like a necessary element if you need 24-hour power. So that's one of the things I notice here is like if you don't have an inverter, you might face a couple minutes without power, maybe even a couple hours. Like there are times where like for example, in the flat that I'm moving into, the generator is going to be on mostly in the evenings, if needed. But there is no power between 2 and 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, granted, I have things to do. I'm probably going to step out. But if I do end up having to work, remotely at certain points, I actually have to get online around that time because that's about the early part of the morning in New York. Especially with the daylight savings time has made it 6 hours. That one extra hour has changed a lot. Like I was on a call today with someone from the UK who thought that they scheduled something early for me at like what is the equivalent of 7 or 8 o'clock, but it's basically the afternoon for me. It was 8 o'clock, so it was like 2 o'clock my time here, and I was just like, wow, that bugs me out. Like it's with all the time zone switch between these calls and stuff. It's like okay, if I'm going to be working remotely, I'm going to end up having to if I work remote and when I work remote, I end up having to work mostly all of my evening, which is something I'm not really trying to do. So setting up the Airbnb will give me an opportunity to make more of a passive income that doesn't require me being online all day. It doesn't mean I don't want to be online and to do the job because all money is pretty much good to me. It's just that it can be tiring because if you do things in the morning, as I do, I get up early and I work out. I also go to have breakfast at this particular spot, and I also like to get around and see some real estate. It's going to be hard to work the whole day. It's going to be hard to come up at 8, but it's productivity is productivity, right? If I'm going to be up better than I'm doing something with that time, then just chilling all day. And one thing about Lagos is it's very easy to get caught up in chilling. I chill a lot. Even when I'm working, I'm chilling. Making connections, yes, but to sit down and actually click clack at my laptop, um, that's more difficult than it seems because by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm pretty much dead tired. It's like nap time for me. Like, let me get 1 or 2 hours because I've worked out, I've gone all around town, I've met people, I've had breakfast meeting, whatever. Next thing you know, it's like it's time. So I think if I'm gonna be working in the evening, I will set my schedule up so I can have a nice good hour of a power nap at around 1:30, and then the equivalent of 8 o'clock, which is like 2 o'clock. So if I can get a nap at like 12:30 or 1 o'clock for an hour, grab some food, and then just start my actual day. And then I can take my lunch breaks at a time that's more like dinner time or early dinner time. Um, that might work, but honestly, setting up the Airbnb will give me more freedom, and I've been completely inspired by this place. Honestly, so the details are so amazing here. So yeah, I will definitely walk you guys through this place. I know I walked through some other Airbnbs I stayed at for the same person. They're just as nice. They're smaller, mini flat style, but this is the person's actual residence. So it's like bigger and more spacious. And this is kind of the way I would like my own place to be set up in a way. Um, the only thing I will say is that like this particular one, it's in a building that's like a federal housing building. So I think it's kind of like projects, honestly. This building is kind of like the projects. This flat is posh because they upgraded and they put all the added details in here. But this is the elevator's been down like twice. I'm like, I've never lived in the projects in my whole life until I got here. So it's like I wasn't here. I was actually staying in Lucky Phase One. I've only been here for like four days. I was staying in the other Airbnbs, which are smaller, and they're nice, yes, but they're in a house. They're in Lucky Phase One. Everything is cool. This place is actually way nicer. This unit, it's just the situation, the building. But okay, can we have a conversation about how Nigerian projects are better? Because people are not killing each other in these projects. People are not pissing in the hallway. The elevator might not always work, but that even happens in most high rises. To be honest with you, it's not that high up. I'm on the 5th floor, and literally we could walk down and walk up like when I lived on the fifth floor growing up as a child. I always lived on a higher floor. So like I live on the fourth floor even in Brooklyn. So it's not a big deal me walking up and down the stairs. I'm pretty fit. And most people around here that live in this building, they're younger and fit. I haven't seen that many old people living here. So when I say the projects are better here, they know how to do it right. The people that live here are of a certain age. They're building in life. They're creating something in life. And they take this place and they springboard from this place and they move into other places. And I mean, I've seen a couple of Chinese people here. I've seen a couple Lebanese people. It's pretty much anyone who is looking to save some money and just be in this apartment and then move forward in life. But I haven't really met many vagabonds. I haven't really met many derelicts and crazy ass project people like what you're used to when you're in New York in the projects. Like if you ever visited somebody in the projects in the South Bronx, my God, you don't even want to walk into that shit. At least the doorman is nice or nice here. I mean, honestly, it kind of reminds me of the building that my friend was working on right before I left New York. And literally, that building up on 145th, that's a nice building. That's a building that it's cleaned up and it's rejuvenated. That's a project building that a person wouldn't mind living in. Got a beautiful view of of like Yankee Stadium and stuff like that. It's really quite gorgeous. So this right here is a hidden gem, this Airbnb, and really doesn't even matter what building it is. It's literally you come out and you circle the corner and you're right at Prime Chinese. So I don't care about it. I don't. It was the best project experience I ever had, to be honest with you. But they call it federal housing. See, projects is like, to me, it's like a derogatory way of saying federal housing because the intention that for which it was set up is not the way that people carry it out. When you're back in the States, people really do shit on the place they live. I don't know why Black people don't care about their environment back home in New York. I don't know why they are okay with shit and piss in their environment and shooting people in their building and busting people's ass in the hallway and all these things. Like what I've come to realize is that like, yeah, we are a sick people. We literally have we have so much damage about us as Black American people. Like, yo, even when you come to Africa and there's certain things you might talk to people about, and then when they respond to you a certain way, you realize like, oh shit, I'm damaged. Like there's shit that happened in my environment growing up, and I'm not even talking about at home. I'm talking about just being out and about. There's things that happen that you know, and things that I've witnessed even in the media and then in the news that have really skewed my perspective as a young Black woman, and it's trash. And so what you realize is like when you come over here, you just have to drop a lot of things. For example, we don't have real racism is something I left back in the United States of America. I don't even have the propensity to sit down and discuss a racist notion with anybody in this country because it goes over their heads and it doesn't apply to them. They're not dealing with white people like that. They're not. I mean, I've been here for a while now and I can tell you there are not that many white people. And the ones that are here, they're kind of doing their own little business and they're making money off the people, yes, but they're providing services. And even a friend of mine said, like, we don't really worry about the white people here the way you guys do because they work for us. Um, so when he said that, it's like, oh shit, they do work for us. Like, that's why to me it's not even worth having the conversation because it's going over heads, right? Another thing is, even when you're dating out here, you just have to be more aware because men out here, they are good with words. You got to be careful. If you're not good with words, you will get suckered. because men love a good word salad out here in Lagos. They love to finesse you with words. They love to give you that sweet tongue. And I mean, sometimes they're talking so close to your face, you think they're licking your ear or something. It's like, baby, relax. I know you're the right one. You know, I know you. You got the right one. You've got the right one. I got it. What do you want to do? You want to get on the boat? You want to go to Abuja? You want to this? You want to that? I do this, I do that, I do that. I could see you as a CEO of my business. I always wanted a female CEO. So, young man tried to tell me that last night, and I laughed at him. I laughed at him because he don't mean none of that shit. He don't. When he said he wanted, when he sat down and was not trying to eat, and then said to me in a most blatant manner that he was like, honestly, I just need to fuck. And I thought to myself, how vulgar, because I'm not interested in you in that level. Yeah, I came out with you, but I'm really not going to sleep with you because you're too thirsty for sex. Okay, why? Somebody's gonna have to explain this to me. But why are these Lagos men so thirsty for sex when they pay for it every day? It's like you get enough sex because you pay for it, sir. These men out here, they love to pay for help. They do. They love to pay, and I mean, they love to pay to play out here. So my thing is, why are you so thirsty for sex that you're getting? I never understood that. I never understood that about men in general, but you see it on a higher level out here in Lagos. It's like the men out here, they really do. If if you're not careful, you will run up your body count out here. For me, I've not slept with one person since I've gotten back here. I slept with one person when I was here last month. Since I've gotten back here, I've not slept with anyone because I'm scared personally. I personally feel like men run town out here. So it's like I don't know how many, beautiful ladies you have enjoyed this week. And when I say this week, I mean this week. I mean a man will pay. They will pay on Thursday. They will pay on Friday, Saturday, and they might even hold her over till Sunday. That is a very Lagosian thing that happens out here. So I find that sometimes you see a man with a woman on the weekend, you're thinking that's his girl. Oh no. Wait till next weekend. See who's on his arm then. They like to rotate him out. Now, when you come from New York, it's a weird thing to see because men are so rude and brash in New York. They won't even try to give you the girlfriend experience. They're just gonna be like, listen, face down, and it's time for you to get it in. It's really they have no New York men have lost their finesse. I mean, New York men of all colors have lost their finesse because they're so impatient. Men out here still have that level of finesse where they will treat you like you're part of the royal family, but guess what? This is the only weekend I'm spending with you. Next weekend will be somebody next, somebody new, somebody more interesting, somebody sexier, whatever. And it's just what they do, and I find it to be funny because I got. Trust me, last month I got. This person, I really do respect the man. I really think he's a wonderful man, but every weekend that I see him, it's always someone different. And I think to myself, like, when you told me that Lagos women are harlots, what you meant was that you entertain harlots. And if you were surprised that I was not one. But I mean, in my mind, it's like I got less than them. But at the same time, I did get to enjoy the Equi Club, the Lagos Jet Ski Club. I did get a chance to enjoy that. I was holdover for the weekend, so I got a chance to um, grace some of the nicest places where the other hosts don't go. It's so funny. I was at the breakfast spot at the cafe that I hang out at, And he came walking in late in the night with some girl with these long ass fingernails like this, blue fingernails. And oh my God, she smelled like, reeked like weed. Like it was literally me and my girlfriend in the corner talking shit. And then I was like, girl, look at this girl with the blue nails. I mean, her nails were this color. Look at this girl with the blue nails. Long like this, longer than her weave. Like her weave was short like this. If she would have put her hands like that, her nails would have been longer than her weave. And she literally, like, he walks in with her. And oh my God, the embarrassment that he had when he saw me, because he just could not even bear to look me in the face, just knowing that I was going to see the ghetto trash he walked in with. I mean, she had on like some dirty, what do you call that? Uptowns. She had some dirty uptowns with some high waist, light blue jeans. And she was what we call nasatol. She had nasatol. No ass at all, nasatol. She had nasatol, body maga, no titties, no hips, no nothing, and no face. And no face. My girlfriend saw her in the bathroom and was like, oh God, girl, she's not even pretty, and she smelled like weed, and she looked like she's high as hell. See, believe it or not, there's a market for those types of women out here. Men love a nice, dirty slut out here in Lagos. I'm not lying to you. If I'm lying, I'm flying, I'm dying. Men love a dirty slut out here. It's almost expected. Like if you're gonna be out, that's one of the reasons why I'm not out tonight. It's almost expected. Like if you're gonna be out, then just be the slut that you are. That's kind of how they treat it. It's like they don't expect you to be out all the time as their woman. So the women that are out all the time, like myself and some of my friends, yeah, you will get perceived to be a hoe. And it's okay if you're a hoe as long as you want to live with that. I mean, the girl that walked in, she didn't look like she was upset. I was more annoyed because the guy that walked in with her was the guy that I liked. But at the same time, what can you do about it? You can't make a person choose something better over something else. Listen, some people really love Sunny D, but it's not real orange juice. Factual. You can't make the man choose the 100% juice if he wants to have these sugars. You can't make the man drink San Pellegrino soda with real fruit in it if he wants Sunkiss, because sometimes that's just what they want. They want to enjoy life at the highest level, and part of men enjoying life at the highest level comes with hodom, comes with entertaining hoes, comes with um, sleeping around, comes with, even when I was with him, it was like he felt like he had gotten some sort of exotic prize, a nice Jamaican American girl, a big, nice fat ass, beautiful natural body, something they don't see a lot out here, because unless the girl is super skinny, most women out here, and it's crazy, a lot of women, I would say more than 50% of the women that I see out here have their body done. Now, we could say it's all natural African bodies, but please, we could look at certain bodies and know they're not natural, especially on the island. The island, there are a lot of unnatural bodies because a lot of the women that are here, they're from the diaspora. They got their bodies done in the UK, or they got their bodies done in Miami. And so a lot of times you see a lot of women with their bodies done, even though we're in a place where women have amazing bodies. So yes, it it is crazy, but the men love that here. So don't think that they don't love hoes. They absolutely love hoes right here in Lagos. And they will walk around with them and everything, and everyone knows what it is. Everyone knows that successful man is paying for that lady's time, and it's okay. It's kind of like when Richard Gere was walking around with um, Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman. Yeah, she was beautiful, but everyone knew that, like, she was sloppy and she was definitely a hoe. So I think if you go out a lot and you don't give it a break, you'll become one of the girls on the scene. So for me, this weekend it was a dub. I said no, I'm not going out because last weekend I had a good old time drinking and partying and all doing all those things. So I stayed home because I have too many things to do. I have too many things to do, and it's like, let me give that energy a rest. Let me give my feet a rest. Let me give my body a rest. I've been working out. Let me not undo my results. Um, got my wig blown out the other day. I didn't want it to be all sweat up and all crazy looking. It looks really nice right now. So I just figured I would just, do what I do and stay home with it and jump on this YouTube with y'all. Because Nigeria has been so interesting to me. Okay, one thing I also in Nigeria I've noticed is that people want to be where they're not. Everybody here wants to leave who's from here. And I can understand it. There's a lot of stifling economy and a lot of shit holding people back. So I understand why people want to leave here, but I also feel like it's just the theme of the world right now. Everybody wants to go to another corner of the world where they haven't been. Everyone wants to see something they haven't seen. So that's really what I've been noticing. It's not that they hate Nigeria, it's that they want to try something else. Like even my homegirl, she's on her way to the UK for the first time, I think. And she was trying to go to the US, but it didn't really work out. So now she's going to go to the UK, and I think that's a better fit for her. But at the same time, she would do great in California too. She's like a tall model-esque type of woman. And so I really think that she would do great over there. But guess what? She's not going to um, stay here. She's made it a point of being like, I got to get up and go. And it's sad because I really did. She's really one of my favorite people. And it's like, damn, she's going to get up and go. But guess what? This world, the UK's right there. I could always go and fly up and see her. I mean, once you got your passport. Oh my God, guys, I have my NIN. I also have my birth certificate. I also have my place of origin documents, and I will soon have my passport. I'm 100% Nigerian today. So let this be a little celebration for my citizenship, yeah? I pretty much move how I want out here. I got the hook up on so many levels. I ran into somebody who ran into somebody and just hooked me the fuck up. Got my state of origin on there, Sokoto. I enjoy also on a daily basis, I enjoy watching the news here. It's like real news, like hard hitting news, There's a lot going on out here. And so I'm just proud to be a part of it, really. I'm just proud to be a part of Africa's, one of Africa's giants. Like they say I thought it was the third largest, but apparently it's the fifth largest economy. Let me see what the economies are. I think this is the fifth largest economies in Africa. Oh, actually, hold on, let me see. Oh, the highest GDP growth. Oh, please. If I show you guys this chart, hold on. If I show you guys this chart, yeah, let me see. Let me show you guys this chart right here. Okay. Now I knew I was right about this. Okay. Overall, it's the fifth largest economy, but if you look at this chart from Statista, I just pulled it up. But Nigeria's GDP, yes, it's up by 5.5, and that was as of May. And I've been talking about that for a while, for the last couple months, if you've been watching. But look at all of the growth, right? Even Egypt too. I know they were talking about that the other day. But GDP growth is up a lot. I mean, like Nigeria is the African giant. I mean, we have Dangote refinery on the way. We also have I saw this. I saw Dangote fertilizer, like literally fertilizer plant contributing to the agricultural growth. Dangote fertilizer plant is Africa's largest granulated urea fertilizer complex. The plant occupies 500 hectares of land in Lekki Free Trade Zone, Lagos, Nigeria. It was built at a cost of 2.5 billion, with Nigeria estimated to need about 5 to 7 million metric tons per annum of fertilizer. And with the current level of fertilizer consumption in the country, which is 1.5 million metric tons, Dangote Fertilizer Complex was established to produce 3 million metric tons per annum of urea fertilizer in phase one. Dangote Fertilizer works with farmer associations, corporate farms, NPK blenders, NGO and development plant partners, and state governments all over Nigeria, as well as governments across Africa and beyond, who are looking for a sustainable approach to improve soil and farm yields. The coming on stream of Dangote fertilizer will surely make Africa self-sufficient in food production and net exporter of food to the world. Listen, Dangote, what else do you do? I mean, God. All right, so the fertilizer, okay, look at all the businesses. But I know that they're talking specifically about the refinery that's coming in 2022, the petroleum refinery. Petroleum refinery, Dangote Petroleum Refinery is covering a land area of approximately 2,635 hectares, which is about 6 times the size of Victoria Island, VI, where we stand. Dangote Oil Refinery is a 650,000 barrels per day integrated refinery project under construction in the Lekki Free Zone near Lagos, Nigeria. It is expected to be Africa's biggest oil refinery and the world's biggest single train refinery. The pipeline infrastructure at the Dangote Petroleum Refinery is the largest anywhere in the world, with kilometers, with 1,100 kilometers to handle 3 billion standard cubic foot of gas per day. Now, I don't know what the fuck this is because petroleum and energy, that goes over my head, okay? I know finance, but I know that this right here is about to bring this money in. But I also did hear that last week on the news, they were saying that, like a week and a half ago, they were saying that the World Bank declined Dangote's request for 2.5 billion to subsidize the petroleum refinery. We know why that is, because the World Bank is not trying to contribute to the growth of Africa. We understand that, right? I mean, they're not going to give you a loan to help you improve upon something when you've got the money, especially if you're Dangote. To handle 3 billion standard cubic foot of gas per day, the refinery alone has 400 megawatt power plant, has a 400 megawatt power plant that is able to meet the total power requirement of Ibadan Disco. The refinery will meet 100% of the Nigerian requirement of all refined products and also have a surplus of each of these products for export. Dangote Petroleum Refinery is a multi-billion-dollar project that will create a market for $11 billion per annum of Nigerian crude. It is designed to process Nigerian crude with the ability to also process other crudes. Boom, boom, boom. So this is an oil place, and finally, they're going to start producing on their own soil. 2022. This is supposed to be, I think, June of 2022 that they actually start using it. Anyway, guys, just go on the Dangote website and just look around at some of the big projects that are happening around here. A self-sufficient Africa. I really believe in these initiatives, and what I can see right now is that what I could see right now is that Africa is on the rise. This is the perfect time for you to pick up and bring your Black self from America and the UK back here. So many people have moved back here. So many people have moved back here. You think you're the only one? You think Jack's the only one? I mean, there's so many people who have moved back to Nigeria specifically. It is the right place to move to. I know a lot of people talk about Ghana, and I haven't been to Ghana. But what I don't see in Ghana, what I see in Ghana is I see a lot of culture. But what I don't see is I don't see a lot of hard business. So I'm a person coming from a hard business city. I'm coming from a place where we do business. So I came to a place where they do business. Okay. I'm not from Atlanta. Okay. I'm not from Los Angeles. So if I were from those places, maybe a place like Ghana would be more applicable to me because I would want to have more fun and things like that. But when I'm talking about doing business, setting up Airbnbs, running into business people, like I'm seeing a gentleman who he actually just retired from Credit Suisse, and he has his own uh, he has his own private equity firm and does pretty well out here. And to be honest with you, we hang out and I get to know him. And to be honest with you, those are the types of people that I enjoy their company. I like to speak to people that actually have something to talk about aside from like clothes and going out. Trust me, I love that shit too. I just want to do more. Every single man that I meet is doing something financial. Like gentleman that took me out last night, regardless of whether he was talking shit about me being the face of his company or not, doesn't matter because I really applaud the fact that he's starting a microfinance bank and has pretty much already started a good majority of it. So good for him. Um, but yeah, man, I just think there's so much going on here. There's there's a reason why people keep coming back here because there's nothing but growth and opportunity here. So why be the last person, right? Like this is like akin to how Miami was back in 2004 or 5 when they started really bringing it back up. That was the time to go and invest. Miami still has plenty upside, except that my people are here. See, the difference between Miami and Lagos is that, claro que sí, la gente son latinas, mexicanas, colombianas, dominicanas, y cuando me voy a Miami, how do I feel? Como un morena. And they remind me of that all the time. And to be honest with you, it's okay because I don't want to be around them all the time. I love Miami. I really do. I enjoy the culture. I even enjoy the Spanish food and the music and shit. But I am a black woman. I am a black African woman, and I've traced my roots back to Nigeria. So I figured I would come back home and do what I do in Miami, do what I do in New York, right in the place where my family was stolen from. So that's pretty much my methodology. I just chose to come back home. When they talk about return home, I'm not from Ghana. So I'm returning home. I'm home now. That really is the whole point. The whole point of repatriation is to return to the place from which you would have been had slavery never happened. Had slavery never happened, I would be right here. I wouldn't be down here in Lagos though. I would be up in the north, Sokoto, or in those areas. But because I'm young and popping, and all the poppin' business people in their 20s and 30s are here, this is where I choose to be. So I really do believe that right now it's been nothing but it's been trying. There are difficulties. Okay, there's a level of patience that I'm developing and working on developing so I can continue to tolerate this place. But it's just so much beauty to it that you just feel like you feel so honored to be here. So even though it seems like I'm tolerating the place, I'm really enjoying the place. I love the place. So it, I'm excited to be here. Trust me. And maybe just because it's new. But there are frustrations. I get a lot of frustrations in general wherever I'm just a person that's always doing a lot of things. So when you're trying to do a lot, frustration does pile up. But when you look at your surroundings and you're like, yo, I'm in a country where people love the way I look, people love what I have to offer. Some people are rude, but overall, people are good here. Most people are trustworthy. If you know how to judge character, a lot of trustworthy people here. And as long as you help others, like for example, if you could tip someone, that's great. But if you could lead them to a job, that's better. As long as you could help people and continue to grow, it's like this is the kind of place where a black woman, man, child and family can thrive. So I'm so blessed and glad to be here in Lagos. I'm so blessed and glad to be in Africa. I know like the people have chosen other places in Africa that are less developed, and but I can't do that. I mean, I came home. I came to where I was from. Now Sierra Leone, I love you, but there's a lot of development that has to happen there, and I will definitely try my best to do what I can to continue to support the group of people that are continuing to build there, because I do care about those people and I do care about their initiatives. But as far as me repatriating and getting my citizenship for business, I don't think that's likely. I got my citizenship here. I've got my NIN, my birth certificate, and I'm Adia Naija, Omo Naija. Like I don't really need much more. The most that could happen now is my passport and being able to move around Africa. Once I get my passport, I'm going to move around Africa a lot. I really do need to see every single country here. But first things first, set up at home and then just start traveling and moving the globe. And that's really my goal. I just want to set up and travel and absolutely, and I mean, nail down one of these ballers. But I'm telling you, girl, if you are in Lagos, don't think that you're going to nail him down with sex. It won't happen because he's paying for sex everywhere. Trust and believe that. There are a lot of beautiful women out here and everyone sells their body. So if you want to land him, the best way that I've found right now is to keep it real light, go to lunches, don't go out late, and just allow him to just splurge and do things for you that are nice. But don't give any vagina out, because there are women that are charging for it. So why should you give it for free? I think what you should do is, and what I'm doing, is just continue to date, go out, make yourself happy. And there have been some really interesting people that have come around. Right now, I have someone who's really, really, really interesting, but even he won't get anything, because I feel there's a lot of, like I said, I feel there's a lot of pressure for sex here. Like I never felt so pressured in my life about sex. And it's disappointing. That I think that's the only thing about like dating here that's very disappointing. It's like the pressure for sex is so hard. And I'm gonna tell you why that is. From my perspective, it's because Nigeria has more men than women. So there are a lot of men out here working hard, and everybody wants a woman, especially the hardworking men. They don't really have time to sit down and create relationships because they're building their microfinance company, or they're leading the bank, or they're building a hospital or whatever. There's like a new hospital coming up. A bunch of people are involved in that, or they're managing their business. They don't really have a lot of time to create a relationship with you. So they do get into the habit of paying for sex and dealing with hoes. So I think when you're out here as a young woman coming from the diaspora, try not to give it up. Try not to give it up. I mean, have sex when you want to, do what you want to do. But if you genuinely don't want to have sex, don't, because he'll get it somewhere else. I guarantee you. I beg. Tonight, if you don't give it to him, somebody else will. Like tonight. Like if I don't do this, like last night, I know say he got somebody else. Even if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, I know say he picked up somebody and decided, you know what, since Jackie is not giving it up tonight, let me pay this girl a quick little something and get what I want. I don't know what diseases are like out here. I would imagine they're running rampant. But also, I can only base this on the one encounter I had last month. He was very protective of his seed and very protective of his member, and he strapped up. Each round we had, he strapped up. And that's because when men deal with hoes, they know to protect themselves. So they just protect themselves in general out here. Men protect themselves whether they're dealing with hoes, whether they're dealing with housewives. They just know that women get around out here. So they don't really take a lot of risks, it seems like. There's not a lot. I haven't heard of much talk about raw sex. I'm sure it's happening, but it seems like men here are more cautious. They have more to lose, and they respect themselves more. So It's just a good old exchange, good old money for sex exchange. Just don't get wrapped up into it. Best way is to keep your nani like this. So basically, that's really the video. I thank you for coming onto the live, Sheed. And honestly, whoever watches this, just know like there is so much more to life than being miserable in your city where you come from. Just pick up and go. Pick up and go to where you think you can thrive. Pick up and get to a place where you can be everything you ever wanted to be and then some. And then when you get to that place, don't let anybody put you in your place. Okay, that's another thing. Okay, before I end this video, I just want to say this. Seems out here in Nigeria that a lot of women they have very old school mentality, which is beautiful in one way, but in another way, it's very stifling. They want to be able to enjoy their lives more, but because they are too worried about the appearances of things, they're not able to step out of their comfort zones. Meanwhile, the women that are having all the fun, the hoes, the diasporans that move around like myself, there's plenty of us that we're not exactly hoes. We're like not exactly housewives. We're not exactly hoes. We're kind of like, sovereign women just moving around and doing what we want to do. We've got to get money. We come from the UK. We come from the US. Those women here in Nigeria that move a certain way, they kind of want to be like us, but at the end of the day, they still want to maintain that demure essence about themselves, which I respected, except that the men don't care. Because when you look around, these men, I'm sorry, long gone is the day where they marry those types of women. I see these men tying down hoes. I really do. I see them tying down hoes. And I see them tying down sovereign women like myself, women who are fun, cute, sexy, and just, but also have their lives together. I don't see them uplifting their own women that much in terms of I am by genes and by blood a Nigerian woman, but I mean the women that are born here and raised alongside them. I don't see them. For example, I have a homegirl. She worked in Lagos Fashion Week a couple years ago, and the gentleman who sold me the condo, sexy young thing, had offered to take me to lunch and things like that. And she said all the time that she's known him, and he never said anything to her. Even at Lagos Fashion Week, he never said hello to her, nothing. It's just like, psh, please, who are you? And I thought that was sad because he didn't even acknowledge her when we went on the meeting. She knew who he was, but he didn't know her, and that's because he didn't pay attention to her because she was just an ordinary um, girl from Nigeria. It didn't matter how beautiful she was; he didn't see her value. And so I think that men really, even here, they prefer exotic. Even if you're a different kind of black, they like that. It's like anywhere else. Men love an exotic trick, something new. The fact that I'm a West Indian, Black American girl takes me far out here. So, even my girlfriend, she says it, she's like, just use your accent, you will get whatever you want. And she's right. I just speak like this and I get the world handed to me. So, to be honest with you, it is what it is. Anyway, A Black Beauty is out. Peace. What's your song right now? What's your song? This is Nigeria. Too much music. I'm feeling vibes on vibes. I think your candlelight. You know I'm just that type. No, nothing kill my vibes. That's my shit. Yes, that is my shit right now. That's all up in through the clubs right now. So if you're not into music, don't come here. Like if you're not into music, go to Abuja. Like this is not the place. Lagos is the place for people that love music and culture and arts, but also love business. People play hard, they work hard, they play hard, they work hard. Food is great out here. Food is amazing. And I don't eat Nigerian food every day. There's amazing restaurants out here. We'll get into that later. Peace.